Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Let's go.
Hey family, I hope everybody is well. I am coming on right now. Today we got a special report, special KSP TV report. We're broadcasting on Instagram, also we're broadcasting on Facebook. This is very dear to my heart. Hold on one second. I want to throw on my New York hat. I got, because New York, we about to represent in New York. So I want to throw on my New York hat. Hold on one second, family. Let me play this commercial real quick while I find my New York hat real quick. And we'll be back after this. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back right after this. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numero Beta. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numero Beta for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now. Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numero Beta. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the Numero Beta. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.
Yes. New York. What up, though? What up, family? What up? All right, we got a special report today. This is all about, this is very serious in my eyes because, I was at the first press release, gathering when a lot of the story broke about Predators being in the hip hop world and all that kind of stuff. But Predators is in every genre of music, and there's a big march happening in a protest happening called Hip Hop Stands with Survivors, talking about those hip hop artists that stand with survivors that has been molested or fondled in any way in any genre of music. But this is specifically geared towards the hip hop genre. And it is going to be happening at 9 a.m. on March 27th in New York City, City Hall. That's 260 Broadway. And stop tax dollars going to Predators. So Hip Hop Stands with Survivors.com is the website. Mayor Adam, tax dollars, music corporation, responsibility, accountability, and integrity. That's what they're promoting. Protecting our children is going to be very important. Let me take that that sign, that identified sign of, so y'all can see it. Protect your children from predators, especially in the music business, because they are predators in the music business. We have seen what has happened to people like R. Kelly and in entertainment and all that kind of stuff. So we got to be very mindful of when our children get into this type of business. We got to be very mindful of what's going on. And today we're going to be having a special guest. This is the website to go to if you want to find out any more information about www.hiphopstandswithsurvivors. And we have a special guest coming on with us. Her name is Leila Wills. Big up to Leila Wills. I've known her for many years. I know that she is a beautiful, wonderful energy who's been doing her thing for many years. And I am happy to, at least if I can't be there, I'm happy to be a part of her promotion. Now, Leila Wills is a media professional whose work has centered on Black history. That's right, who have centered on Black history. She is a business owner, journalist, and publisher of the Metropolis newspaper, which is based in Chicago, oldest Black neighborhood. Her story highlights social justice issues, small businesses, and Black history in America and in Chicago. So we're waiting for her to come up. And of course, if you want to get in contact with her, you could hit her up through her website, or you can go to her IG at Leila_Wills and her Facebook at Leila Wills. And you could hit her up at those websites also. And also the website that we're also promoting today is Hip Hop Stands with Survivors. Leila has been a very serious forerunner for this, alongside people like Star and Kamani. I think his name is Khalil Amani, who has been talking about predatory people in our culture for many years. So I'm standing with the survivors also. I'm standing with survivors not only in hip hop, I'm standing with survivors in reggae, because a lot of the reggae artists, from Tanya Stevenson people like Lady Saw and different other women, and people like Ifrika have spoken about that predatorial foolishness that's been going on, not only in hip hop, but it's been going on in reggae also. And we don't even know if it's not, because in hip hop, we're seeing that the boys and the women are coming out talking about it. Of course, Sister Patrice that talked about the X-Clan and all that. And of course, people that's been coming out against the founder of the Zulu Nation, Bam. And let me be very respectful, because Bam and I were friends at some point. He has supported my book. I've supported my books. He bought my videos. He supported me in various times. And as a matter of fact, back in the early 90s, my manager and I drove down. My manager of the time, when I was a reggae artist, drove down to the hip hop conference in Washington, D.C. And I drove in the back of the car while African Mbata was driving. So I know of Bam. I've known Bam. I've drove with him, and I never knew anything that was going on. So I personally don't know what happened. But when these stories started coming out, I had to take the stance with the survivors, because, you know, even in family, I have been survived from not molesters, but more people that was torturous as family members, because they never did anything sexual to me. But it was torturous from both the family, female side of the family, and the male side, where, you know, my female cousins, because I ate their food, would strip me naked after my mother leave, and then swing me around, and then throw me around and do all kinds of torturous stuff. Never sexual, but it was torturous for somebody my age. And then my male cousins on my father's side, they will tie me up like I'm in a mental facility, and then they play like I was a medicine ball and throw me around from them to them back to their friend and all that kind of stuff. So that was torturous. But when it comes to predators that are sexually molesting children in the hip hop world or the reggae world or any other genre, we have to stand with the survivors that have made it through, the people that have spoken up, and show enough respect to that. And when you look at those type of things, you got to be very respectful and move accordingly, and show respect to the people that has been hurt, and that might be afraid to speak up, might be afraid to speak up. So today's special KSP TV report, Stop Protecting Predators and More. And we're waiting for our dear sister, Leila Ali, to come up. Leila Ali, I keep on calling her Leila Ali. Leila Wills to come up and, express what this report is all about. Stop protecting predators. She'll be on in next minute. I see her in the backstage looking good as usual. She is a fine lady, ladies and gentlemen. So I always got to acknowledge that, especially being born under that 24. Most people born under that 24, that 6 energy or that 15 energy are very beautiful, beautiful energy. And some of them could be a terrible spirit, but she has been a very beautiful spirit since I've known her, thanks to being introduced to her by a dear friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, Aton Edwards. So big up to him, who also stands with survivors, because he was right there during the inception of hip hop. And again, family, before she comes on, let me show you the flyer again. There's a big protest happening at City Hall at 9 a.m. March the 27th in New York City, City Hall. I live in Georgia now, so I will not be able to attend. And because I can't fly at this time, I would have to take a bus down, and that takes too long right now. But 260 Broadway, Hip Hop Stands with Survivor Protest. Stop tax dollars going to predators. HipHopStandWithSurvivors.com. Remember, Mayor Adams, Tax Dollars Music Corporation, responsibility, accountability, integrity. And we are happy for the first time on my platform. It's been a long time coming to welcome right here on King Simon Presents, only quality people, the one, the only, Leila Wills in the building. What's up, beautiful?
You're such such a pro, Simon. You're such a pro.
Well,
If anybody doesn't know Simon's history, he is a total pro. Okay. Thank you for having me. This is my first time here. Thank you.
Yes, and we've been talking about it on and off. And I used to be on radio. I've done radio in New York for years. And like Star, who also was one of the initiators for what's been going on and what we're talking about as far as the topic that we're talking about, stop protecting predators and much more. Because Leila, I read your part of your bio from your website. You've been in this for a long time, and I'm proud of your stance, your strength, and to show that we are both Aquarian of that misnomer, the Aquarian age. We're part of, and this is the Aquarian age, and the Aquarians have to stand up and stand out as the rebels that we are. We go against the grind sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We could be an organization and we say, "Oh, kick rocks! I'm not doing this." I've done that. I've left organizations because of drama, and I ain't got no time for the drama. Save that for your mama and your daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Leila, if you people, this is our guest, Leila Wills. Is it Leila or Leila? How does your family call you?
Layla.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You always said my name right. Yeah, Layla.
Just want to make sure because some people, she's a media professional, guest, a business owner, journalist, and publisher. I even have her book also, which is interesting, of the Metropolis newspaper based in Chicago. And the website to that is metropolisnewspaper.com. And her IG is Leila_Wills, and Facebook is Leila Wills. Let's welcome her again.
Thank you.
Welcome her again. Beautiful. Oh, man. Where do I start? Because and I'm not going to get into your history right now because we're going to save that for another show because we're dealing with this topic here, stop protecting predators. And of course, the website, I want people to support Hip Hop Stands with Survivors. I was at the first press conference when it first all came out with Irritated Genie. A lot of us was there. I spoke. I was one of the speakers there in Harlem. And now it's to this point where you've done documentary, you've interviewed various people. Our dear friend TC, whose birthday is coming up April the 4th, he transitioned due to whatever's going on. A lot of people don't want to speak out against it with, of course, Bam. And I said before you came on, I personally was a friend of Bam. Bam bought my books. I've supported his events when he had his little conferences and all that. We sat next to each other at events, didn't know what was going on. I even told people, Leila, that being fully transparent, that I rode down to the hip hop conference in 1990 with my manager, and I was in the back seat, and Bam was our driver because we couldn't find other ways to go. And I was supposed to be one of the opening acts I was one of the reggae stars that opened up for the event. And for all of this to come out, and let me preface this because it's not just in hip hop, but y'all are setting a precedence for all the genres that's been suffering. Because even in Jamaica, reggae females have come out and said they've been predatorily attacked by predators in the reggae business. Leila, what's going on, and what is this march and this protest all about? And let's go right into it, please.
Okay, yeah, I just want to start with, I never saw you speak at the press conference that happened early on. I saw the videos, and I don't think I saw your piece.
It's Sonetta filmed it. I was the first speaker because they had me open up, and it was Irritated Genie and Tazariak next to me. Okay. And I was right there talking about what happened to me and my own family because I said, it's not just hip hop. You got to stop it in our families.
Yeah. Well, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I wasn't molested, sir, but I was tortured by my own cousins because of whatever they felt, especially my complexion. I was getting dogged out and that's why I told people back in the day, I almost thought about taking my own life at 8 years old because of the hatred and the classism in my own Caribbean family. So this stems into family, and I won't be surprised if Bam got molested by one of his family members, whatever he happened. But, I used to call him the Great Bambaataa because we believe he was a hip hop founder. We believe that. And when this came out, all of us had to look at ourselves and say, are we going to support and keep on going with this, or are we going to fight against it? So yes, I was one of those people that stood up at that time with Sonetta and all of them, Hassan, everybody was there. So I was one of those people that stood up in the beginning. So with your stance, I know you was coming in under what Star broke and even what's his name, Khalil Amani We also goes from a double level, because I used to be in the Dr. York community too, but I wasn't there during that time. I was there from the 80s when he was Muslim, and then it became Nuwapian, and then all of that broke out. I left in 88.
Yeah, so you see how these issues cross over into a lot of areas in Black life, okay, or just marginalized communities also. But I do commend you early on for speaking out, even about your own experience, but especially because you were friends with Bambaataa, and that couldn't have been easy, and it wasn't easy for a lot of people, and so that was really big. That you did that. So I don't know if you mentioned the report that we wrote on the Universal Hip Hop Museum. And the issue is that we believe that that museum is a Zulu Nation operation being run through Rocky Buchanan. So so remember, the story broke in 2016, and I'll get into how I got involved later. But the story broke in 2016, and Bambaataa was very much involved with the museum with Rocky Buchanan, and he was actually he had signed a letter of intent with the real estate developer and everything. So he was openly campaigning for this museum. Now, when the story broke and all these nonstop, remember, Star was interviewing people nonstop, continuous allegations, and whether all of them, most of them were underage, but some were not underage. However, a lot of what they described was still a crime that took place. It was still something going on against their will. So back then, you know, I knew about the museum, and I mean, they had recordings of Bambaataa on the website. His name and picture was all over the place. He was in the trailers for it. And so we just said, well, I'm sure just like everybody else need time to adjust, right? So they had to adjust. So nobody was ever picking them out or zeroing in. We've been very specific in talking about Afrika Bambaataa and his enablers in the Universal Zulu Nation. So fast forward until quite recently, and we'll just say last year, that as soon as the museum secured $23 million through various levels of government in New York, now they start promoting the Zulu Nation all over the place. Now they're visibly having Mickey Benson there, Muhammad Stanley Bell, LG was already there. He's the director of music programming and other things. Zulu Nation parties. They had the Zulu Nation's anniversary there. Rocky Buchanan was co-owner of Strong City Records. Lord Jamar described Strong City Records as a Zulu Nation stronghold. So these relationships go way back. On their voting board, there are no women on the board. There are no youth. These are all of Rocky's associates and business people on the board. So we have a huge problem. And that museum is bragging about the child programming that they have up there, which we think is utterly obscene. It's obscene to have Zulu Nation banners all over the place and having kids in there. So that this is the issue that we're having.
Because it's becoming a portal. It's becoming a portal for what might happen again. You know what I'm saying? So
and we can take no chances of that. We can't take people's word for it. We can't say, oh, I don't believe such and such had anything to do with it. Like that, this is not a matter of what your personal opinion is. It is a matter of child safety, protection for children, and re-traumatizing survivors. You know?
Yes, no, and you know, and a lot of people don't really know the depth of this. You know, and you know what's so funny, Leila, even with my family, when I confronted my cousins, especially the female cousins, they got molested, they got traumatized. So these things can happen and pass on. But when you have organizations like that at the end of the day, we think it's supposed to be a protective organization because they have rules and regulation according to these organizations. I mean, from people in the nation, from people in the Ansar, the Nuapi, and all of it, and the Zulu Nation, all that 5%. I never went into the Zulu. I was in the 5% nation when I was younger, so I never experienced that. We always had little beef back in the day against the Zulu Nation when we was in the 5%. I know, the lessons of the messenger came through the 5%. Then I went into the nation and the Ansars, but. We these organizations that we claim that we love and that's supposed to be pioneers, especially like the Zulu Nation, who I had utmost respect. And I won't say all Zulu Nation members are like that, but we gotta call a spade a spade. There is at least a leader that was like that, and then there was those that were right there allowing it to happen. I heard they had pictures and books and all kinds of stuff going on here.
And the survivors know who are in those books. So when people see me going hard, understand what I know, understand what I see when I see these people. Okay. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And we're letting them know it's unacceptable. We're not having it. And that's why we're going there on Monday. Now, another thing is that they've tried to drown us out with celebrity and they tried to ignore us. We started contacting the museum behind the scenes in November. That's when they had the Zulu Nation's anniversary. Then they ignored our request for 5 months. And we were already going to have a protest back then. And so, but then one of their lawyers did respond. And so we held off and asked them for what the paperwork that we were asking for, who's on the board, who's doing this, what is going on up there. And then we wrote this 30-page report that is on that website that people should educate themselves on this issue. And they tried to drown us out with celebrity, with all these press conferences. When you name it in hip hop, it is there. They stood with Russell Simmons. That is unacceptable. Rocky went on The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. That is unacceptable. All of this is unacceptable. And one reason, I want to say two things, King Simon, and then, this issue, it affects all of our families, right? It affects all of our families. And we have to come to terms with this and the damage that it does to the generation it happens to and those that's coming after. Okay. And that's another. So our celebrities, one reason the Me Too movement was successful was because it happened to white actresses. Then other white celebrities lent their voices to this issue. White journalists lent their voices to this issue. It started to be a huge expose. Yes. In our community, when this came out, our celebrities went silent. It was radio silence. The very few voices that we can name on one hand, no one else, because of politics, because of the politics of hip hop itself. Politics is not just the US government. If I go against that one, I might not be on tour anymore. If I do this, that might stop my deal over here. So hip hop has its own politics. So our celebrities went silent. That's why we are doing civic action. That's why you're going to see the people are going to this protest on Monday. We've been dealing with this. This is our 7th year, almost to the date. Almost to the date on when Star had the first show. If I'm not mistaken, it's March 30th, but I'm going to look that up because I realized this is almost 7 years to the date. And you can get the science on what the 7 means. And because now with them, they started this also. I want this to be clear to the public. Like I said, we were not singling out the museum. We want a hip hop museum, but we are not going to pay for a Zulu Nation operation. And they came out of a bag and let their whole hand out and just started blatantly throwing the Zulu Nation up. Their members, his alleged enablers, all of them should be in jail. They should all be in jail. Okay, so that's why we are going to City Hall. The reason we're going to City Hall and not the museum is because that's our money. That's our tax dollars, whether you live in New York or don't, because they also have federal funding from Congress. That's everybody's money in the United States. So that's why we're going to City Hall, because we're going to let our elected officials know, who all are now hip hop groupies. Okay, now they get to be around. Oh, I'm around such. We're gonna put a stop. We're gonna put a pin in that pinata on Monday. We are gonna let them know this is a serious problem, and you're gonna stop giving our money to this museum until Rocky Buchanan resigns and the Zulu Nation is out of there. They need. He needs to step down. They need to get an interim director, a real historian, a real preservationist, somebody who knows how to run a museum, and put some interim person in there and clean up house. We want our money to stop until all that stops.
That's right. Let's give that a round of applause, family, because it's a serious business. It's a serious business. We have Leila Wills, guest, a media professional, business owner, journalist, and publisher of the Metropolis magazine newspaper based in Chicago. And remember, get to that website, www.metropolisnewspaper.com. Her IG is Leila_Wills, and FB is Leila Wills. And don't forget the website if you're going to support this. Seriously, serious inquiries, serious support. Hip Hop Stands with Survivors.com. That's Hip Hop Stands with Survivors. Topic today: stop protecting predators. Very important. As I've been posting up, of course, you see the website is promoting it heavy. You got to be out there 9 a.m. at City Hall, 260 Broadway. Those that are in the tri-state area, if you could fly in, whatever you got to do, come on out and show love, because this sister has been getting death threats. Also, let's be real. She's been getting death threats. Star's been getting death threats, but Star don't give a damn. If you're gonna come, you better come right. That's And with Leila, if you're gonna come, you better come right. That's what she ain't joking either. So,
and you better finish it, because it will be finished. Okay, it will be finished. Exactly. Now, King Simon, I didn't get a chance yet this morning, but we have a petition for people like you who cannot come into New York. It's change.org.
Yeah, I did sign it. Yes, I know.
Okay, good. /UHHM protest.
Is it on your website or any of the
Not
websites?
Yet. I'm going to get it on there. I didn't have a chance this morning to get it on there, but I can put it in the chat in a minute.
Send it to me in my private, and I'll copy and paste. Okay,
wonderful. If everybody, even if you are coming to New York, please sign that petition. Right. We want our elected officials to understand this is a serious problem. We're not having it. And another thing is, in the larger community, white people, there's no way that they would have been standing up there with Harvey Weinstein, how they're standing up there with Russell Simmons.
Big up my brother Star.
Okay.
Big up Star. If you want to come in, you let me know, Star. I'll be happy to have you, sir.
And Star, thank you for sharing the awareness on your show also. All of you guys who are talking about this and debating it or whatever, bringing it up, that's what we need. Everything out in the open.
Let me tell you, Star has been a jejna, because in Ethiopia, the word jejna means a proficient guide and not mentor. We don't use mentor. That's Greek for them freaks. But jejna, the Ethiopian word, means a teacher and guide. And he's been a teacher and guide of mine for over the years, since we was in New York radio. And I watch him all the time. He knows I sometimes come on the show. And he has been such a profound person when it comes to Patrice, the sister. What's her last name? Patrice?
Griffin.
Griffin, and what's happening with the X-Clan and all that. He breaks stories. He's been breaking stories for a long time. And I'm just happy that people like yourself are still on it, and people like Star is still on it, and whoever has been following down, but even relatives that I know that are connected to BAM is not even talking about it. I know this, and I'm like, man, come on. And Poppy, big up to Poppy. And, there was one other person, but I won't even remember his name, because I know he's trying to go against you now too. It don't make sense to me, because we were supporting him. We supported him.
Moving on.
Yes.
Poppy is going to be going live today at 1.
Good.
Poppy's gonna go live today at 1.
Yeah, and and fully being, I used to contact Poppy a lot and talk to him and tell him he should write a book and stay away from certain things. And the only reason, like I said, I'll be honest, I stopped talking to him is because he got into a lot of controversy with Sonnet and a whole lot. I just ain't got time for that personally. But I understand his pain, and I understand the pain of others that have. When I left that press conference, let me tell you, Leila, that same day I left that press conference, the guys that was watching on live, I was jumped on a bus in Brooklyn, and he told me that Bam tried to rap to him to get him to a hotel. The bus driver.
Oh my God.
Bus driver.
Oh my God.
He was on a bus in Brooklyn, New York, going home at that time. And he remembered, because I had on the same Muslim type hat and all that kind of stuff. He said, I remember you at the press conference, and he pulled me to the front of the bus while he's driving and told me the situation while he was with Minister Farrakhan coming for an event. This guy, Bam, tried to talk to him to get him on. I'm like,
Africa Bambaataa, according to a lot of these guys, he used to go be prowling. Okay. He would go like where the kids are playing basketball and things like that, like in all the boroughs. Right. I want to say one more thing about Star and Poppy is that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Star broke the Jessica Reed story also.
Right. I believe that was also.
We have a lot of this stuff, and see, these guys have been allowed to still enjoy their celebrity, and they can reinvent themselves in the eyes of the public and say, oh, I'm doing good. This is a good thing. Everything's positive, but they leave a trail of destruction behind them. And Poppy is he's not even the only one. See, but he's the last one with his name and face, okay, who has not recanted his story. So a lot of people expect me to denounce him, and I need to do this, and that's just not going to happen. And we've had our fallouts. I mean, we've known each other now for 7 years, and he's not the only one that we have fallouts, all kind of stuff. Like, we've known each other for a long time. Like, he's not even the only one. Oh, let me give you I'm going to type that into the
send me the thing so I can send. Somebody just said Black Dot has spoken out against
it. Yeah. I had a lot of respect for. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
When he first spoke out, I honestly respected that back in the day. Go right ahead.
And they were saying maybe Black Dot could take over the museum. And Black Dot comes with integrity. I got to respect Black. I've known Black Dot for many years. He's been in the conscious movement, and I don't call it a community, a movement or awareness community for a long time, producing events like I did throughout New York as I was in the reggae and hip hop and all that kind of stuff. And working at SOBs myself, I remember the shows that Bam and them used to bring, KRS-One used to bring, and I have high respect for KRS-One, but I don't like what he's done and not speaking out against what's happening. KRS-One have not really stepped up to the game, to the forefront as one of the hip hop pioneers.
Oh, he stepped up to the forefront. As far as he stepped up to the forefront.
I mean, not to support what you're doing, but
no,
exactly. That's what I mean.
Support Africa Bambaataa and told us to quit hip hop if we got a problem with that.
That's right.
Listen, you got to respect it though. See, that's better than people just staying silent, because see, if you make a stand, it gives us something to work with because we have to become a community again. Like hopefully we've seen the worst. We have to deal with this because more people will identify with the survivors, with empathizers and sympathizers of the survivors rather than the celebrity. So if you're still Google eyes over these celebrities, I just don't even know what to say. Like at this stage of the game, it is we, the people, we want a real institution, and an institution where your kids are safe. If you had 12-year-olds, which was the age that he really liked, allegedly, you had 12-year-olds up there with these guys who sat there, including his roommate, Ahmed Henderson. That is unacceptable. We're not accepting it. We're not accepting it. And we want our money to stop. You better stop funding this museum. And if the museum falls, it is because Rocky will not relinquish power. He had 7 years to get this right. Instead, they just went into a little dark corner, got the money, and then as soon as they got the money, now they're plastering the Zulu Nation all over the place. That is not going to happen.
Leila, and people, please sign the petition. I just put it in the chat right now, change.org, of course, underscore UHHMP, UHHM protest. Please sign the petition. I got to sign it. She sent it to me earlier this week, and I had to sign it because I know I wasn't going to be able to be there. But, Leila, you being a healer, because you're a healer to me. You have a healing energy to me, as much as you got a warrior energy and spirit.
I was going to say, are you sure?
As much as you got a warrior. But, Dr. Khaled used to say, the late, great Dr. Khaled said, we all have the saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers in us. All of us have this. How can we heal this? What is the healing factor? What is the journey of healing in this whole situation? Because we know he's sick. We know a lot of people in there are sick. Can they be healed?
Oh, I don't care about their healing, honestly.
Okay.
I think they need to be, if this was a perfect world, we would have to have capital punishment with things like this. We cannot have these kind of crimes against children. Children are literally, this is not a cliche. They are literally our future. They are literally our legacy. One thing I am also is the executive director of the Historical Preservation Society of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. Right. I am a legacy child.
That's right.
Both of my parents were in the party. So we cannot have people committing crimes against children. Now, the other thing, the community that we can do is understand these issues, and that 50% of survivors don't come forward until they're way after the statute of limitations has run out. So to try to make them have to file some kind of suit or police charges, sometimes it's just not possible anymore. Right. And it's hard because we see the loudness of the people that make fun of this issue, especially with men, right? And it's horrible. Yes. And good people can't really be on social media acting like nuts, right? Like we can't just be out there doing that kind of thing. But when it's time to stand up, that's when we need you guys to stand with us on Monday, or sign a petition if you're out of town. And Simon, you're in the radio business. There was a very small group of white mothers who went to the FCC.
Yes.
This little bitty group of mothers went to the FCC, and that's how we got rated R, rated PG.
That's right.
Because they objected to the content coming across the airwaves to their children. We look at what we have to go through. The Me Too movement. These guys came out when all that was going on. Like I said, I got to look up the exact date. We're almost to the date, but it was like March, right? Through the whole year. I mean, look at all, we have to do civic action. And another thing is that these corporations that big up these people, it's just like minstrel shows. They would not have white predators promoted on television, inside of anything. They are promoting these people as if our kids don't matter. See, we as a community cannot allow that anymore. We don't depend on each other anymore. We act like we're all individualistic, and that is not the case. And one child, we have to protect these kids.
Also, you have a podcast, Trapped in the Culture, which I've been watching religiously for years since you put it out.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, you put it on YouTube because nobody really wanted to fund it the way you put. I mean,
nobody was interested at all.
You said
nobody was interested in the story of these guys all the way until current day.
Wow.
None of them think it's not sexy. See, another thing is, they'll do something on cute little teenage girls because it feeds into their own perversions and fantasies. But nobody wants to know of what happened to these boys. And I'm from public housing also.
Right.
And I'm from Chicago. So our celebrities that want to criticize drill music and all of that, when they've been totally silent in this entire issue, why are our kids so angry. Like that was what really moved me when I was in Chicago when I heard the broadcast. But
Right.
when he did the first 2 interviews, I was like, okay, I thought Star was, I thought it was a punchline coming. Like I was just like, what is this? Then when Poppy went on there, I was like, oh my God, this is real.
This is
So
real.
what moved me more than anything was to hear men talking about this. I had never heard that in my life. Never heard men talking about these issues. And that is what moved me, because now these guys, look at their ages now. They're in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And all these Zulu guys all had women at home too. See, I feel some kind of way about the down low homo thug. Like
Yeah.
I feel a kind of way about that. Y'all having all this nastiness going on with each other. You don't protect the kids that's coming in there. So then they get exposed to this lifestyle you guys got going on. And then all of y'all go home to your girlfriends.
Right. That's interesting because that's interesting because it was my friend who used to work with me on WWRL, Karen Hunter, who wrote the book for that DL brother and had to write another book for the wife to help show the balance of what happened.
I don't think I realized that. I know exactly who Karen Hunter is. I don't know her personally, but I know who she is.
Yeah, I was her board op while I was on WWRL. All the board opping that I did for her and Shmuley Botek and all the rest of them, and of course Rabbi Shmuley, and all Steve Malsberg. I was the board op in the morning show. I was the board op over there at WWRL and had my own radio show there too. So, so I remember when she had those books and she was a ghostwriter for Wendy Williams and all that stuff. So I knew when all that was going on, and respectful. That down low thing is heavy in Georgia. That's one thing.
No, it ain't even down low no more.
I'm glad I'm in the mountains away from a lot of madness. So, but again, family, this is a serious topic. This happening this coming March the 27th. Hip Hop Stands with the survivors, and of course, make sure you check out her YouTube channel, Trapped in the Culture. I know you had changed the name at one point, and which was smart because Star kind of helped you out to say, "Yo, you got to do it like this." And he's a marketing genius when it comes to that stuff. I got a big up Star.
And you know what else? If we would have kept that title, I don't regret changing it back to Trapped in the Culture. But if we would have kept that title, which was hip hop's first gay family, they wouldn't have gained this kind of momentum. They would have still been on the defense all this time. Why are they saying that? They would have had to prove they were not. So yeah, that was a extremely it was very controversial and everything. But if we would have kept that title, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now.
Of course. But you did a wonderful job.
But the survivors, I did that specifically John Doe. The one who filed the lawsuit. Yeah.
Yes. But you have been on it, and I've seen the interviews with Aton, Dr. Ali Muhammad, various people in and out. Star was also, so it's so much stuff, and it's so much family. It's so much to unpack. And I know a lot of people can't believe it again, and a lot of these new young people that's coming up have to be careful of the predators. Because I have 12 grandchildren, Leila.
Wow.
I have 9 children and 12 grandchildren. So I got to look out for them if they want to get into the artistry also. We got to look out for them and be very, very cognizant of what's going on and what's happening in our children's life, and pay attention to the friends, because it's their friends that lure them in. Because when you talk about popping, that's what happened.
And these guys are wherever children are.
Exactly.
So when you see these people setting up their own, wonderful universe for kids, sometimes it's not kosher. You have to keep an eye, and don't leave your kids around these people. And you think it's some big ugly monster. Well, it is in Bambaata's case, but it's not the case all the time where they're jumping out of the bushes. They are very charming. They know how to get right next to you. They know how you meaning the parent and grandparent, to trust them so that you leave your kid alone with them.
Now, in Poppy's case and the other guy's case, I understand the mother allowed it to happen too. So women also have to pay attention to who they allow in there, as far as boyfriends and girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, because they can lead their child into that way also. when I heard the other guy's case. I won't mention his name, but it was all, it was still, their mother was also connected to that way of life. And you introduce it through moms and aunties and all that. So both men and women can be predators. I want y'all to be very clear about that. Like I said, I got tortured by my girl cousins, not unless they just took my clothes off and swung me around, threw me off, just because I ate their food in the refrigerator. After my mother left, they actually came stomping in and grabbed me. I knew they was coming, so I went under the bed. They grabbed me from under the bed and started torturing me. So I remember that at 8 years old or 7 years of age. So we gotta protect our children, not just from these hip hop predators. And like I said,
yeah, exactly.
But like I said earlier, Tanya Stevens, the reggae artist, came out against reggae predators and online. It's all online. And Mr. Vegas started talking about it because it happens in all genres of music. I don't care if it's hip hop, rock and roll, reggae. I don't care what it is, soca. And I'm thankful for people like yourself and Star that has set the precedents for the catalyst for this to happen for everybody to see. Because when it happens in America, everybody wants to be American. You need to follow suit and stop letting these predators take over. The job is stop protecting predators. I don't care what genre of music is in. So I commend you so much. And I'm not going to keep you because I know you.
I just want to say one more thing, see, these issues is why we have to move our consciousness forward. So if you think of us from the plantation, right, and you keep going forward in time, and you had child marriages, you had a bunch of incest going on, like, and we have to protect kids. We have to change the statute of limitations. We have to end child marriage and a whole lot of stuff, and just let children be children.
What's happened with that statute of limitation that y'all was fighting for in the court?
Well, they changed the law, but it's not good enough. They need to end all statute of limitations when it comes to sexual abuse and violence. There's no way around it because of the intimate nature of the crime. People don't come forward until these things run out. And a lot of those legislators, like, what is your problem? Like, why are you fighting so hard not to end the statute of limitations? See?
Wow. I mean, there's so much. That means this could be that the government is also a part of this whole thing,
or members of the government.
Members of it, right? That's where it can go across, because, they
get fought. These advocates, and when you're fighting these fights, there is opposition, and you would think no one would be opposed to it. Oh no! There's serious opposition, including the church and all kind of people who hire lobbyists. There is opposition to these laws until and unless the people step in, and you tell your legislators, and on Monday, if you can't come, call Schumer's office, call Eric Adams' office, Gillibrand. We have the names. Look on the website under Day of Action. Call those people. Monday is the day of action, no matter where you are, starting at 9 a.m.
There it is. And I have it right here in the front, the Day of Action. You can call.
Scroll down and they'll see all the names and all the money. There we go.
Wow, look at all. Man, what? 11 million, 3 million, 5.5 million, 5. What?
All those people on Monday.
Whoa. Man, that's a lot.
Go back up a little. Go back up to that section where it says legislators.
Right.
There we go. Right, legislators.
Okay.
Yes.
Right there.
All those people.
Those are the people.
Those corporations too, but we want our public money to stop.
Latoya Joyner, Jamal Bowman, Christian Gillibrand, of course, Eric Adams, Chuck Schumer, Ruben Diaz.
And Ruben Diaz is a voting board member on the museum. How's that not a conflict of interest? What is going on there?
Wow.
See, we have to take control of this situation, or they'll have Bambaataa in there giving a freaking concert in a minute.
Yeah, the whole thing will start to happen again.
Okay, then all of us could end up in jail. Or we'll be the ones in jail.
And family, make sure y'all sign the petition. Also, don't forget, sign the petition. And again, thank y'all very much. Thank you very much, Leila, for coming on for this special report, man. And I commend you again. I hope you have your bodyguard around you, which is your angels and your ancestors watching you, because they've been watching you all these years.
Well, they hate me, okay? But guess what? I know who's in the book, so they only go so far with me.
Yes, right.
And I just can't say it or else I could get sued, but don't play me either.
Yes,
And when certain people say, I'm going to sue you, I'm like, I dare you to sue me. I'll bring out a legion. I'll bring a legion to court.
Do you have a new book coming out? Do you have a new book coming out?
No.
Okay, because I know.
No.
Yeah, I know, because I know you got at least write your biography. Jeez, you need a biography or your autobiography.
Not yet. That means I'm dead.
No, of course not. I mean, you dead. You're serious. But once again, want to thank you very much. Give her a round of applause, family. For bringing her on, and I'm proud of you. Thanks, Star, for coming in. Also, thank everybody that's also supporting from the background and foregrounds, and those that are going to be. Let me put that march up again so y'all can have it plain and simple right there, happening 9 a.m. Good numbers. 9 a.m. March 27 equals a 9. We got it all going on here.
Okay, now.
That is it. 2260 Broadway. Come on, everybody, stand. Hip hop stands with Survivor protest. Hip hop stands with survivors.com, hiphopstandswithsurvivors.com. And again, family, don't forget about signing that petition. If you can't make it, there's a petition right there, change.org/UHHM protest. Support it. Show it some love. I'm gonna put it back in the chat again so people can actually support it. There it is. It's in the chat, so you can actually go straight to it right now and support it. Again, Leila, I want to thank you very much for being your great self all the time, and enough respect to you for what you've done. And I hope to see you soon.
Okay.
I don't know when you come into Georgia. We need to.
I'll be back soon. And we'll do a debrief. Okay.
Yes, please. I'll definitely bring you back, and let's talk about it after. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening. All right. Take care. Peace and love. Yeah. Wow. That's our dear sister, Leila. Woo. Family, please share this broadcast. Please thumb up, share, like, subscribe. Of course, to the machine, building the algorithms. Remember, sharing is caring. My PayPal is King Simon /King Simon. My Cash App is $King Simon 3158. If you want to show your brother some love. KSP welcomes new viewers. My numbers are going up, so thank y'all very much. And greetings to only quality people, because this is King Simon Presents Only Quality People. This is the broadcast. Of course, like, subscribe, share, and our broadcast. And let me make sure this is up also. Let me say this.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Okay. I want to thank each and every one of y'all today for coming in and spending your afternoon with me. Part of your afternoon with me is your brother King Simon, broadcasting from out of GA. Please thumb up, share, and like this broadcast to build the algorithm. Remember, sharing is caring. And of course, if you want to spread love, you know you can go to King Simon. Of course, $King Simon 3158 or paypal.me/King Simon. And of course, don't use Super Chat if you can't, but if you do, it will go to where it's supposed to go, to serve its greatest purpose. And again, remember, go to Hip Hop Stands with Survivors. We had the great Leila Wills right here, guest media personality, business owner, journalist, and publisher of the Metropolis newspaper, and based in Chicago. Go to the website, metropolisnewspaper.com. Go to her IG at Leila_Wills and Facebook, Leila Wills, of course. And make sure y'all sign the petition, all right? Got it ready to close out. And remember, coming up this coming Tuesday, I will be on IG with Topic Driven on IG. Join me on IG at Iam.KingSimon. Make sure you go to that IG. And don't forget, tomorrow, we'll be speaking about mental health. We'll be speaking about mental health with Nikki Shepard. She's a mental health therapist, a licensed mental health therapist. And you can hit us up and check us out at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And do remember, we got the doulas coming in on the 29th. We got the doula coming in. Curator of MILF Maid, Allegra, will be in the building right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And if you're into martial arts like I am into martial arts, make sure you go to the gatherings of the martial arts coming up. Gatherings of the masters, the grand masters. Go to studymartialarts.com, that's studymartialarts.com, and go to 718-210-3190. That's 718-210-3198. This is a big event coming up in New Orleans. So if you want to come out to New Orleans and check us out in New Orleans, it's called the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Make sure you go to the website, stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. And big up to Lloyd Strayhorn. Make sure you go to the website, lloydstrayhorn.com, lloyd-strayhorn.com, 800-581-4401. Well-renowned astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and Thomas. Make sure you support his sessions, purchase his products, sign up for his newsletter, and also, please, take his courses. I got my numerovation guidance deck out. Make sure you email me at numerovationgcards@gmail.com. This product is also good. Go to EPS Holistic Health and Wellness.square.site 929-456-3009. If you want to learn the Dr. Africa methods of healing and reversing health issues, please go to LailaAfrica.com. Drop Squad Kitchen, a great kitchen go to if you're Wilmington, Delaware. Make sure you go to the Drop Squad Kitchen. Nicholas Brooklyn, make sure you support Nicholas Brooklyn and get all the crystals, elderberry, sea moss, herbal teas, and so much more. Hit them up when you go to Brooklyn or go to Manhattan. Big up to Dr. Shakira, HolisticaPalace.com, HolisticaPalace.com. And make sure you vote for your brother. Nominate your brother at Linktree/King Simon, the Numerator, for the Forbidden Knowledge Conscious Awards. Make sure you nominate your brother right now. Go to Linktree, you can go straight to it. And make sure you support this magazine, Infinite Times Mag, InfiniteTimesMag.com. And also, don't forget, if you want to travel with Baba Ashwa Kwesi. If you want to travel with Baba Ashwa Kwesi, make sure you call them at 214-371-0206. That's 214-371-2006. Remember, if you want to start your writing journey, make sure you contact Susie Script at 914-361-9467. Remember, yesterday's numerology is not today's new motivation as we continue into the future. Purchase all my books through Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Remember, you can take my class on Udemy, but you could also go straight to the link on King Simon the Numerator, Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Or you can take my 8-hour course at Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. To avoid Eventbrite surcharges, you can text me at 347-496-1022. And if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. On that note, let's talk about forgiveness. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection because no one is perfect in this realm. Big up to Dr. B. Serious that shared that with us. We're going to close out with the prayer, Dr. Blair's prayer, the great metaphysics teacher, the one, the only Dr. Blair. I want to thank him for showing us love and giving us this prayer. Are you ready, family? Take a deep breath, sit in your chair, lay down, whatever you got to do. Stop your car. Pull over to the side and let's do this prayer, or do it while you're driving. Dr. Blair said, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which we live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. By Dr. Delbert Blair. Salute to him. And if you want to support Dr. Delbert Blair's website, please go to his website. Very beautiful brother. He left us with great information. Dr. Delbert Blair's legacy shop is the metacenter2.com, the metacenter2.com. Make sure you show him some love. And if you are, if you feel that you need any guidance in any way through the numbers, please contact your brother, King Simon. Of course, you can contact me by texting me. If you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. If you live outside of the United States, please use WhatsApp. If you want any guidance through numbers, because numbers is not psychic. Numbers uses patterns, cycles, and sequences to give you guidance. And you can pay via PayPal if you're outside of the United States, or you can go by Cash App, and you can circulate your donations that way. Remember, I'm very good at what I do. And if you're good at what you do, you get paid for it. So whatever skills or talents you have, get paid for your talents and skills, and don't run away from that. And like I always say, and I always close out, in the immortal words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, no matter how you feel about him, he says, one love, one aim, one destiny, up you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. In the immortal words of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one creative force. It might be a frequency, you might call it God, you might call it Allah, you might call it Jesus, you might call it him or her. Whatever it is one creative force. And in the immortal words of the one, the only Dr. Maya Angelou, and still we rise. Family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be strong, be focused, and be your great numerovational self. Have a great day. Peace and love.
With the mathematics to do some great things. Why not? Why not work towards it? And it's not microwave. A lot of the young millennials out there think it's microwave. You didn't come out your mama's womb microwave. You didn't come out that fast. Yeah. It's always going to be a process. All the people you see on all the great people that you see singing and performing, they built up to that. And then somebody supported that, and then all of us supported that. When people watch Dave Chappelle, when you watch what Puffy did, what Tupac did, and all that kind of stuff, they all built up to that and put in that first. And now it's easier to reach the world, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet. It's easy to reach the world now through social media, through Instagram, through TikTok. You throw on TikTok and about 100,000 up there real quick. So you have the age of hockey, the age of Aquarius at your hand. And those that are under the sign of Aquarius and Leo, pay attention.
All at once. Stepping off, rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because they're going to get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up, wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
Hey, this is King Simon, the international numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. This is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. go now.